The movie starts with Siccio and Bianca having a good time together. Bianca's sister Maria says it's time to go home because it's getting late. Siccio kisses Bianca goodbye and asks to meet her later. At home, Siccio's wife Lucia finds their son with a cigar and gets upset. She tells her son off, but Siccio's mother defends him, saying it's just a cigar. Maria gives the boy some fruit while they wait for Siccio. On his way home, Siccio is stopped by Linda, one of his mistresses, who is angry because he has been ignoring her. Siccio tells Linda to leave when he sees his son coming. He tells his son he has bought a new goat for them to name together. When Siccio gets home, he has breakfast, and his mother asks why he didn't come home last night. He says he fell asleep, but she doesn't believe him and compares him to his father, who was a womanizer. Bianca and Maria go home with food for the workers on their father's farm. Bianca asks Maria to come with her to visit Siccio again, but Maria refuses because she doesn't approve of Bianca dating a married man. Their father, Kumpa, tells his workers to take a break. All the workers are young and attractive women. He focuses on a pretty girl, tells her she can rest, and then follows her. He compliments her and asks her to undress, but she refuses, so he takes advantage of her anyway. Maria sees this and runs away, upset by the girl's screams. Later, Siccio goes to a local bar where he sees Luigi trying to exploit one of the farmers. Siccio tells them to stand up for themselves and offers to buy their crops at a fair price. They all celebrate, and Siccio buys drinks for everyone. Luigi visits Kumpa to complain about Siccio, saying Siccio is harming his business. Luigi wants an apology and for Kumpa to warn Siccio. The next morning, Siccio comes home and joins his family for breakfast. He talks about how the local farmers are being exploited. His wife asks where he was last night, but he doesn't answer. Kumpa nudges him and says he is just like his grandfather. His wife then loses her temper, shouting at him and accusing him of spending the night with his lover. Siccio ignores her, grabs a music player, and goes to meet Bianca. They listen to music and become intimate. Bianca tells him she has strong feelings for him while they dance. Siccio says they will move away soon, and he can't wait to be with her. Later, Siccio and his friend Vincenzo are outside the church talking when Bianca's brother walks by. Bianca's brother gives Siccio a dirty look, and Vincenzo warns Siccio that if Bianca's father finds out about their relationship, Siccio will be in serious trouble. That night, Siccio leaves the bar and finds out that Kumpa wants to meet him. He goes to Kumpa's house with some farmers but enters alone. Kumpa asks Bianca to serve the wine and questions Siccio about knowing his daughter. Siccio says he doesn't, and Kumpa then asks about Siccio's family, which Siccio finds odd. Kumpa mentions that he knew Siccio's grandfather well until the grandfather found a young lover and moved away. He left his grandmother behind with 3 children. The discussion then turns to Luigi, and Siccio tells him he doesn't like to see the poor being taken advantage of, which Luigi admires. Later, we see Siccio climbing onto the roof and going in through the window to Bianca's bedroom. He takes her to the barn where they spend the night together getting intimate. The next day, Maria and Bianca prepare breakfast for her father and brother. Bianca can't stop smiling and tells her sister all about what they did. When she asks where Siccio is, Bianca tells her that he must have left by now, as she left him in the barn early morning. Suddenly, her brother tells them that he is going to the barn to get some hay, and Maria decides to go with him. When they get there, they hear a noise which Cosimo finds weird. Maria tells him that she will look into it and tells him to go back with the hay. Once he is gone, she finds Siccio hiding and tells him to get out of there immediately. In the next scene, we see Siccio and Lucia at the church where they discuss their marriage. He tells his wife that he still loves her, but they have become distant lately. Next, we see Bianca and Siccio out together, and she informs him that she thinks her father knows about them. He tells her not to worry and he will talk to her father, which fills Bianca with joy. Cosimo informs Kumpa that Bianca has been seeing Siccio. Maria brings him his clothes and he asks where he saw them. Maria tries to cover for her and tells her that she is just at the store. When she returns back at the house, Kumpa is very angry at being lied to, and he calls Bianca a prostitute. Suddenly, Bianca begins to remove her clothes and just stands there. She tells him that he is the one who is sick and likes younger girls. Maria quickly picks up a blanket and covers her up. In the next scene, we see Siccio looking over his family as they sleep. He then leaves in the night thinking about what to do. The next day, he goes to see Kumpa to tell him about him and Bianca. Kumpa tells him that they need to talk, and tells him to walk with him. He then takes a shovel and tells Siccio to check the soil. When he bends down, Kumpa hits him over the head several times until he terminates him. When Maria sees what he has done, she screams in horror and goes into shock. We then see his body being taken away through the town ready for his funeral. Sichio's brother called Antonio learns of his brother's passing. He informs his fiancée and gets ready to attend his burial. He arrives for the funeral and hugs his mother, who is absolutely heartbroken. Bianca is adamant that she wants to go to the funeral. She is not in her right mind and Maria tries to stop her. Lucia and two of Sichio's lovers carry his coffin out of the church to be buried. Antonio then goes to the police station to find out what is going on, but the police don't seem too interested in finding the killer. Antonio meets up with Vincenzo and asks him if he knows anything. He tells him that his brother was a playboy and had many lovers. However, a girl called Bianca was very special to him. When Antonio arrives home, he finds his family arguing. His sister blames his father for not doing anything. Her father blames Sichio and tells her this is the consequences of messing around with the wrong person. Antonio tells his father that he will be leaving to head back home tonight. However, later we see him arriving at Kumpa's house. Cosimo quickly locks Bianca in a room and goes down to meet with him. Antonio tells him that he wants to talk with Kumpa. He is told that his father is asleep and no one from their family is allowed to visit their residence. Antonio tells him that the whole town knows what really happened. Suddenly Kumpa arrives and tells him that if his father doesn't want to lose two sons, he should leave while he can still walk. Antonio leaves and says his goodbyes to his family before getting onto a bus. The next day, we see Kumpa in his barn looking after his horses. Antonio arrives and brutally terminates both him and Cosimo. We then see the police arrive at Lucia's house to question her about the deaths. Her father takes her in and refuses to answer any questions. After their father has passed away, both Maria and Bianca find it difficult in their town. No one wants to speak with them and they become outsiders. Things become harder and Bianca decides to go and see Luigi to ask for his help. They need people to take care of their farm, but no one in town wants to work for them anymore. Luigi agrees to help, but he says she must do something for him. When he tries to take advantage of her, she stabs him and runs away. Back at home, Antonio meets his fiancée. She shows him their new apartment, which her father bought for them. Antonio, however, is distracted and says the death of his brother is still on his mind. Antonio decides to break up with his fiancée and sends Bianca a letter saying he will visit soon. When Antonio arrives back, his mother is very happy to see him. He goes to see Bianca, but when Maria lets him in and he sees a picture of Bianca's mother, he is shocked and quickly leaves. Antonio tells his father that the picture of Bianca's mother looks just like a woman from a photo his mother found in his wallet. His father reveals that Maria is his daughter. He explains that he grew up with Kumpa's family and was Kumpa's best man. After Bianca was born, Kumpa, unhappy with having a daughter, started drinking and mistreating his wife. Antonio's family took Kumpa's wife in, and a relationship developed. His father says that Antonio's mother knows about this past. Antonio then talks to his mother before going to see Bianca. She is stunned to see him because he is Sichio's identical twin. Antonio asks Bianca to marry him immediately. Bianca imagines herself in a red dress, surrounded by people from their town, walking together to the church to get married. The movie ends there. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.